Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last part we got here to Ptolemy so we could start off Colosso. And now we're gonna enter it ourselves, because plot. Now, I already explained everything by the last part, but I'll go over it again once the thing starts. But I always get thrown off in this part for some reason. Why? You need to stand in your circle, which is the one that's painted on the far right. But I always forget that's there. I think I always have to talk to some of these people. Mind you, these are some pretty badass looking sprites, but... Well, most of them are badass looking. I like the purple one and the black one. The teal green one on the far right is not that intimidating looking. Anyway, it's time to get this game started. Even though we're already 22 parts in. Speaking of which, this is looking to be my longest Let's Play. Looking to be at this point. All depends on what happens with certain cutscenes and plotty stuff. And it's time for this to all start. And before the game started, you might recall last part, we also placed some more friends in here. They can lend a hand, pretty much make us cheat. You can make them move certain obstacles around, or make some obstacles completely non-problematic. With Garrett, since I placed him there last part, I can move that. With Ivan, I can use Douse to make this platform fall and make the one on the far right of the screen at the moment rise up, negating that challenge entirely. And with Mia, you can use growth on this to make this rise up. Due to the setup, sadly, I'm a bit problematic in terms of my synergy with Isaac, but it's nothing too bad. And the first round begins. Just run across, jump over this, push this, run up here to get a smoke bomb, or, no, a nut. As I mentioned last part, all your items were taken away from you, so you have to use their items. Climb this until you can negate the obstacle. Come up here, get the smoke, the oil drop, smoke runs on until next round. And just run on. You can go and get that chest down there if you want to. I don't find it worth it. I think all it is another nut. And since we got here first, we got the iron shield, which is the better of the two options. And now we have to wait for the man named Azart, or Ozart, however the hell you pronounce it. And there technically are two versions of each enemy you fight here, a strong and a weak one. However, the only real difference is which item they get. I think it just raises their defenses. Yeah, it does. Like Ozart here, his weak form has 2 defense, his strong form has 20. Roughly. Would you get over here? He went for the item, I can tell. Get up here. About time you got here, sir. Ozart has 450 HP, and he's weak to all elements. By the way, I love the battle theme for this area. When it comes to battle strategies, I recommend using any battle items you got in them, then use Sap and Flint and use their summon, if they survive that long. Also, because of our current synergy, or not our synergy, our current Jin setup, we actually have a pretty good synergy on Isaac by the name of Planet Diver. Which is pretty damn good. Obviously these guys hurt, but as long as you're able to lay on the damage and heal when you need to, it's nothing that bad. And they're praising us, so now it's time for round 2. And by that I mean it's time for us to set up our party members for round 2. In terms of who you want to place where for this one, I forget it off the top of my head. Oh, well, first off, set your Jin back, because you don't want to summon them right off the bat. You want to actually be able to put some damage in, then summon. You want to put, I think, Garrett in this one? No, you want to put Mia in the second one. I think Ivan in the third, and Garrett in the fifth? I forget, we'll see as we go on. Also, this is what the explanations look like. I accidentally pressed them for 2 of them this time. I'll put Mia here. I honestly forget about it off the top of my head. Which is pretty sad, because I recorded this maybe 20 minutes ago. Ah, yeah, you put Ivan in this one, then you put Garrett in whichever one I put it in next. I think it's the 5th one, maybe the 4th. Well, actually, yeah, Garrett's in the 5th. The cool thing about this is there's multiple different setups you can do for this. You can literally put different items for synergies on different people, and you can still have them do things. Like, well, pretty much each one of these has a shortcut you can do. I'm just choosing the ones that I think are the most time efficient. Like, I always do this setup, ever since playthrough, like, number 4. I forget what happens if you lose anything at the Colosso, but I don't think it's anything big. And yes, I did have to check my notes to make sure I got all that right. Anyway, time for round 2's cheating. First off, have Garrett use force on this. Have Ivan use something on this. Use frost on this, rather. And have Mia use halt on this guy. Which will pretty much negate this entire challenge. Because I think this is the most time-absorbing thing out of this entire set. And thus, round 2 begins. First obstacle here is just a simple maze. Just go left, left, up, down, you're good. By me having used halt on that guy, I can't get that chest up there. All that contains is a nut, which can be useful in this, but not entirely so. Because I have sap for that. That chest there is a sleep bomb, I think. Or is it the smoke bomb? Either way, it's not too useful. I'm skipping it. Fall down the second hole here. So you don't fall down there. You jump there. Push this thing here. Push this thing twice. Get the nut. Head south. Push this. And then just push this damn thing twice. And you pretty much win. And for getting here first, we get a chainmail. Thus meaning we're going to fight the weak form of Satraj. Yet again, the only difference between these two forms is that the weak form has 6 defense, because he gets that stupid shirt, whereas the strong form has 28 defense. And by the way, you'll always fight the same 3 people. It's not randomized at all. You gotta get over here, dude. I'm not gonna lie, this would have made for a really fun little multiplayer kind of segment, if they had decided to do that. Satraj has 570 HP and is weak to all elements once again. Nothing too hard, really. He's a bit tougher because his attack's a bit higher, but honestly, he's nothing terribly hard. Yet again, just make sure you use your Jin in a good order, summon if you have to, and heal when you have to. And that's Planet Diver. That's one of the better, that's pretty much Ragnarok, only not Earth Elemental. Meaning it'd be pretty good on Garrett. And I can never get enough of this battle theme, I'm not gonna lie. The fact I haven't used it for a fast-forward segment at this point is kind of startling, actually. It's also, if they get any nuts themselves, they'll also use them. I think Azart got one, but he didn't get a chance to use it. Satraj, though, uses his. I think he uses both of them, actually. 570 HP, though, isn't that bad. And I do recommend saving in between each round, just in case you lose. Because I think if you lose the first 2, you don't get a certain item. But, yeah, actually. You do get a certain item for winning all 3, which I recommend getting. Round 2, bit more troublesome than round 1, but nothing too bad. And with that, it's time for the final round setup. Which is honestly the worst round, for a good reason. It's the last one, it should be, but it's still really annoying. If you don't know where to set up who. Here in the first one, you want to put Ivan. In the second one, you want to no, in the third one, you want to put Mia, I believe. Yeah, it's a Mia stage. And in the fifth one, you want to put Garrett. You'll see what they'll do momentarily, obviously. I actually really love this segment of the game. I wish there were more of them. Then again, can you go back to the Colosso? I don't think I ever tried going back here later. If this was a little minigame you could do, oh hell yeah. And with that, we're done with setup. So let's go back to the guy, so we can get this party started. And thus, round 3 shall begin, but first we must obviously cheat. With Garrett, all you have to do is use force on that log so it blocks this conveyor belt, making sure it doesn't move. Ivan just used frost on this puddle, so it'll put the platform up. Mia used halt on this guy, which will cause the pushers on the top row up there, as you can see, to stop in the middle so you can just run past them. Everything else Isaac can do on his own. And the third match begins. The first obstacle here was that you had to push the pillar down into that so you can make sure you can just jump on this, but since I didn't have to do that, I can just move like that. Smoke bomb, that's alright. Now this one you just have to jump across the pillars. The shortcut you could have done is that you could have pushed that rock pillar to the right so you can make a bit of a shortcut. Since I did this one, I can just run across though, and I can also come up here to get a nut, I believe. Yep. On this one, just use growth if you have it on this guy. You should have it due to the way I told you guys to set your characters up, but if you don't, well, then you're in for a long climb. Obstacle 4 is the one that I had Garrett do. So yeah, that's pretty simple to dodge. This one, it can be the most time-consuming. This one, I'll push these pillars up to the top row so that they can't do anything with it. Or so that you can push the thing. With the thing and the thang. Push the log into the water, that's it. That chest down there has a sleep bomb in it, which can be useful in the upcoming fight, but as you can see, he was getting pretty close to there anyway, so I was getting a bit nervous when it came to time. Because he went for the item himself, even. And for doing that, you get a claymore, so you get boosted attack. And the guy we're going to be fighting up here is Navampa. His difference is that his attack gets stronger. His weak form has 232 attack, his strong form has 274, so it's a pretty decent increase, so I recommend going for the Claymore, especially. Navampa has 820 HP, still weak to all elements. And this fight can take a while, especially if you want to win, which, as I mentioned before, I highly recommend you do. I recommend doing this kind of pattern. Flint, Sap, Ramses, attack, nut, or heal, or actually use a nut whenever you have to, really. And then let your gen recover, then do it again. He'll use both of his nuts likely, or whatever nuts he has, but it's nothing terribly bad. Though it is definitely the hardest fight out of the 3, considering we're here for a good minute. Now, I gotta wonder what Ramses looks like to that guy, considering the fact it's just a random fist coming out of nowhere from a weird-ass pyramid thing. Though the pyramid thing is actually not until Dark Dawn, I think. Oh well. Really like that battle background, too. Reminds me a lot of Legend of the Dragoon, and actually it kind of reminds me of one episode of the Power Rangers, back when Lord Zed had Tommy. Or no, I had Jason. I think that was the concept of that episode, wasn't it? He kidnapped one of the Rangers and made them fight for him. Then they had to go to some weird-ass Tatooine-looking planet. I forget. It's been years since I watched Mighty Morphin. And he's down. And we win! And died! Isaac! 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 So do we win or lose? Isaac! 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 Stop summoning. What if Isaac had a James Earl Jones voice? That'd be funny. How'd they get out to the stance, by the way? Isaac fell asleep. He must be exhausted. Let's leave him to sleep for now. So, did we win or lose? Isaac. Huh? You've awakened. Yep. Colosso. Duh, that ended long ago. You fell into a deep sleep, don't you remember? Not really. Of course he doesn't. He was out cold. You had us worried. Sorry for shouting at you. You fought brilliantly to the end, Isaac. Bobby was singing your praises, so did we win or lose? Are you okay now, in body and mind? Yeah, I'd say so. You better be alright after sleeping this long. Sheesh. I'm sorry for shouting again. Garrett, you dickwad. Bobby said he wanted to see you when you came to, Isaac. If you're okay, shall we go see Bobby? You're fine, aren't you, Isaac? I'm more worried about what Bobby wants. Let's get going. Now, one thing I always forget you can do is that you have to press the left in order to get out of the bed. Are you sure you should be getting up so suddenly like that? He's fine. He doesn't want to lounge around all day. Damn right. I see. Let's go see Bobby then. But first, let's get my gin items back in the proper setup. My OCD is hurting me. Does that in fact, I don't like the synergies these guys get. I honestly think their best setups when it comes to Jin, in terms of just overall usefulness, is when they have all of their elements. Which we're actually getting close to doing. I think there's only 7 Jin of each color in this game. I forget if later games change that. But yeah, that was the Colosso. I thought that would actually take 2 parts. I was surprised I was able to get it done in 1. It's what you do with experience, I suppose. Also, I'm really late in saying this, but one of the things I really don't like about the game is the limited inventory. I hate it when games do that, but oh well. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 23, we'll go see what Bobby wants to say to us. See you guys then!